Hey, what's up guys? This is Prapreet, and in this whole December series, I'm going over all of the gear in my backpack, basically everything that's been to every single shoot of mine. So basically I wanted to go in this video and talk about one of my all-time favorite portrait lenses. This is going to be the 85mm 1.4 from Sigma. So there's a couple things in this video that are going to be really important, and I think that you should really consider these things before you actually go out and buy this lens. It comes over $1,000. I believe it comes around $1,200. I'll put the current price basically up here somewhere so you can check it out. But basically it's a very big lens. It's an expensive lens, but it's been one of my favorite lenses for portraits, especially single portraits, not family portraits or anything, but singular portraits. The depth of field on this is great. That 1.4 aperture with the 85mm is just beautiful. So let's get right into this video. I want to talk about all those things and basically help you guys decide whether this is a good lens to buy or not. So the first thing I want to talk about is the form factor of this huge lens. Now it comes with a little pouch or a bag, and it comes with a strap as well. So Sigma, good job on that. Some of the Sony lenses don't unfortunately give you that option. They will just give you a really cheap kind of a bag. This one is actually very stable. They come with the same one for 35mm as well. I have that as well, and the 24-70 they do the same thing. So really nice carrying case here. It does take more space than your actual lens would, so I don't carry this around all the times, but definitely since I've grown my kit, I basically just keep it like this in my backpack just to be safe. And then also you can just throw the strap around on the sides here and basically put it around your shoulder and go throughout your day and have this as your backup lens if you need so. So afterwards, here's the lens, the main actual component of this whole thing. Now, one thing to remember is it's a big lens. It's not a small lens. Compared to other lenses such as your 85 1.8 from, I believe, from Zeiss, is much smaller, much more compact. This is a big lens. It's a heavy lens. As you can see with the hood off, so basically hood is still, technically the hood is still on, but with the hood off, this thing is pretty big. Compared to other lenses like the 24-70 compared to other lenses like the 24-70 from Sigma as well, with the lens on, look at the size difference. It's almost the same with the lens hood on. And then if we actually put on the hood for this guy, this lens becomes basically a behemoth of a lens. It's huge. It's the biggest lens I own. It's the most heaviest lens I own. There's been times where I've been crazy and I really wanted those crazy shots, so I took this onto trips. I took it to Europe trip in 2018 and basically kind of ruined my whole trip because I was carrying so much gear with me, and this lens is huge. I barely used it. So first of all, let's talk about the reasons why you wouldn't buy this lens. First of all, travel. If you're a big person on travel, definitely don't go for this lens. It's not your best travel friendly lens. It's pretty heavy. Exact weight number would be right here somewhere, but it's pretty heavy. It's big, so it takes some space in your backpack, especially if you're using with A7 Mark III. It's going to be really heavy in the front, so unless you're using a battery grip on your mirrorless cameras, it's going to be a pretty big lens, and it's going to take a lot of muscle power out of you to operate this lens and get those really nice shots. And the second reason I wouldn't recommend this lens is because it's kind of slow when you're taking those 1.4 85mm shots, especially in very dense crowds, or if you're trying to focus on something very narrow in a very busy environment, for example. This is going to take some time to get your focus down. Sometimes you might even have to quit the autofocus, go to manual focus, use this ring, and take those shots. So those are definitely go-tos. For me, at least, those are important. But there's also things that make this lens really nice, and let's talk about those now. Hey, so I totally forgot to add this in the video, but I realized this a bit late. So basically the 85mm has a 86mm lens filter cap, so basically you can't really put on one of those Polar Pro Peter McKinnon's filters on this, unfortunately, but that's just something that you should be careful about, because you can't actually put that on and get the best video. So you'd have to crank down on shutter speed, or you would have to crank down on that aperture. So yeah, so back to the video now, let's go. So it's a prime lens. That means that there's no zooming in or zooming out. It's going to stay at 85 millimeters. 85 millimeters on its own is a beauty lens for any portrait photographers. We know it when we shoot at 85, or basically anything after 85. 70 or 200 is also an option, but 85 kind of sits like right at the sweet spot where it's not immensely zoomed in, but it is like it's zoomed in enough to give you that depth of field where your portraits basically look really, really beautiful. So basically that's one of the reasons that I really like this lens. And second, obviously, is it's at 1.4. I know it gives problems with the focus at times, but I would say 70 to 80% when you're taking photo shoots where you're taking pictures of people, let's say for a single people or even couple photos, this will actually shine. And depending on how you use it, most likely you're going to get the focus in because of your A7 Mark III and the upgrades. If you upgrade your software constantly over time, you're basically going to get better and better results out of it. But compared to other Sony, Zeiss, or other 85 millimeters, I think this is kind of a bit slower compared to the Sony products, at least. I don't know about others. If you've used any of others and if you've had those problems, comment them down below. But 1.4 85 millimeter, from what I've heard, is even the Sony lenses are going to give you problems. So I think that this is a really nice lens for that. The portraits with this are just next level, so definitely recommend it if you're a portrait photographer. If you're looking for a lens out there, and you can carry basically a heavy lens, I really like it. So like every other Sigma lens, they have one switch for autofocus, manual focus, so you can definitely change that around. Whenever you can't focus properly with autofocus, switch it to manual focus, take your shot. But yeah, so it's a big lens. You need a big body for it. Other than that, I'll have shots all throughout this video so you can check them out. But to conclude this video, I want to say that I recommend this lens only if you're taking portraits and you're into portrait photography and you have some time to like set up your shots and get those shots, and you also have a spare camera to put this lens on so you can use it whenever you want to. So those are the primary only reasons that I actually keep this lens. It's a good prime lens for weddings as well, but you just have to be careful where you don't go like to 1.4 to take those shots. You would have to stay at like 1.8 to 2.2 or anything above basically to get really fast focus. Otherwise 1.4 does give some problems at times, but regardless, 85 millimeters, it's just beautiful. And depending on how you shoot, how you use this for, it's a really nice lens. So that's about it about this lens. I'll have pictures all throughout this video so you can check them out, but ultimately I do recommend this lens if you are looking for a lens. But also the Zeiss 1.8 at 85 millimeters is a good option. The colors are probably better on that. The focus is faster on it. So if you're looking for one or the other option and you're trying to save like $400, $300, I would definitely go with that option as well. But yeah, overall portrait lens, really nice. And this will be it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have any questions, please make sure to ask them in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.